You might be thinking it's time for hearing aids, so you start doing some planning. You look at the price tags and you think about it, but have you budgeted for this? That number, $22,434, is not a fancy top-of-the-line set of hearing aids. It's the estimated amount of money that quietly leaks from your bank account over 10 years when you have a hearing loss you've decided to ignore. This isn't about the price of hearing aids, it's about the staggering cost of doing nothing. I'm Dr. Lane Garrett, founder of Timpanogos Hearing and Tinnitus in Utah, and today I'm going to break down the invisible expenses of untreated hearing loss. We'll explore how it hits your income, your health, and your future, and I'll show you why taking control of your hearing is one of the best financial decisions you can make. When we think of hearing aids, we think of muffled sounds, right? Asking people to repeat themselves, maybe cranking the TV volume up a little bit. We see it as an inconvenience, a simple problem with our ears. But what if it's much bigger than that? A growing wave of research is telling us that untreated hearing loss is not just an ear issue, it's a brain issue, a health issue, and a massive financial drain. Think of it like a silent leak in your financial plumbing. It's not a sudden burst pipe that grabs your attention. It's a slow, steady drip happening behind the walls where you can't see it. Drip. That's a missed opportunity at work. Drip. That's an avoidable medical bill. Drip. That's the compounding cost of social isolation on your long-term health. Each drop seems tiny, but over time, they add up to a flood of unnecessary expenses. So many people say, "Oh, I get by just fine." They honestly believe they're adapting and compensating for what they can't quite hear. But here's what's really happening. Getting by has a hidden cost. Your brain is working overtime every single day just trying to make sense of the sounds around you. This constant subconscious effort is called cognitive load, and it's draining, it's exhausting, and it steals mental energy that should be going towards your performance at work, your awareness to prevent a fall, or just being present in a conversation with your loved ones. This is a crucial ear-brain connection, and when that connection is strained, the consequences ripple through every part of your life. So where does a number like $22,434 actually come from? It was not just pulled from thin air. It comes from a study led by researchers at Johns Hopkins Medical Center that was published in the Journal of American Medical Association Otolaryngology Head and Neck Surgery. Let's follow the money and see the three main ways that untreated hearing loss systematically drains your bank account. First and most directly are your healthcare bills. The Johns Hopkins study, which followed individuals for a full decade, found that a person with untreated hearing loss racks up an average of $22,434 in additional healthcare costs compared to somebody with normal hearing. That's a shocking 46% increase in spending. And this isn't a slow burn. The costs jump by 26% within the first 2 years of diagnosis of hearing loss alone. Why? Because hearing loss is linked to many other expensive health problems. When you can't communicate clearly with your physician, it can lead to delayed treatments that turn small problems into big ones. But the data gets even more specific. Compared to people with normal hearing, those with untreated hearing loss have 50% more hospital stays over a decade. They have 44% higher risk of being readmitted to the hospital within a month, and they're 17% more likely to end up in the emergency room. Then there is the terrifyingly straight-line research draws between hearing loss and your personal safety. Even a mild untreated hearing loss significantly raises your risk of a dangerous fall. Your ears give your brain subtle cues about your surroundings and your body's position in space. It's critical for balance. When those cues are weakened, your brain has to work overtime just to keep you upright, and the risk of a fall and the huge medical bills that follow skyrockets. The second major financial blow is to your career. Multiple studies show that people with unaddressed hearing loss on average earn $12,000 less per year. One study from the Better Hearing Institute even found that figure could be as high as $30,000 annually in some cases. Now, this is not about discrimination, it's about the real-world impact of communication barriers. When you're constantly straining to hear, your performance at work can suffer. You might miss key details in meetings or seem less engaged, causing you to be overlooked for promotions. The mental fatigue from just listening all day kills your productivity. In fact, research shows the odds of being unemployed are nearly double for those with untreated hearing loss compared to those who use their hearing aids. The third area is the hidden tax on your future well-being. The costs here are less about today's bills and more about tomorrow's liabilities. Untreated hearing loss is a huge risk factor for things like social isolation and depression, but the biggest monster lurking in the shadows is cognitive decline. One of the strongest findings in modern medicine comes from research powered by Dr. Frank Lin at Johns Hopkins Medical Center, linking hearing loss and dementia. One of his key studies, which tracked adults for nearly 12 years, found that a mild hearing loss doubled the risk for dementia. A moderate risk tripled it, and a severe loss made someone 5 times more likely to develop dementia. While treating hearing loss is not a guaranteed cure, delaying a condition like dementia by even a few years can save a family hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long term. If any of this is hitting home for you, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It's a tiny click for you, but it tells YouTube that this is a critical conversation that more people should be a part of. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our educational videos. This brings us to the most important mind shift you can possibly make. We have to stop thinking of hearing care as an expense. We have to see it for truly what it is, an investment in your financial future, your brain health, and your quality of life. Think about it. If you found a slow leak that was causing cracks in your foundation, that was costing tens of thousands of dollars in damage, would you ignore that? Would you say, I'll get to it later, while the damage gets worse and more expensive every day? Of course not. You'd call a professional immediately to stop the damage and protect your most valuable assets. Your hearing is that foundation. It's fundamental to your ability to earn a living, stay healthy, and connect with the world. Choosing to treat your hearing loss is the most effective step you can take to plug all the financial drains we just talked about. In fact, a study by the Better Hearing Institute showed that using hearing aids can reduce the risk of income loss by 90 to 100% for those with milder hearing loss. It's linked to a lower risk of being diagnosed with dementia and depression, and it significantly cuts the risk of fall-related injuries. The solution doesn't start with spending thousands of dollars. It starts with one simple, accessible, and often overlooked by insurance first step: getting a professional hearing evaluation. That's it. You can't fix a problem until you know exactly what you're dealing with. A hearing test gives you the map you need to protect your health and your financial future. For too long, we've been having the wrong conversation about hearing loss. We've been stuck on the price tag of the solution while completely ignoring the catastrophic costs of the problem. That $22,434 in extra healthcare costs is just one piece of the puzzle. When you add in the lost income, the career risks, and the future costs of related conditions like dementia and depression, the price tag of doing nothing is simply astronomical. Ignoring your hearing loss isn't saving you money. It's actively costing you. It's costing you your health, your career, and your financial security. But here's the good news. You are in the driver's seat. You have the power to stop that leak. Don't wait for the damage to get worse. Take that first step today. Schedule a hearing evaluation with a local audiologist and just find out where you stand. They can help you find the solution that's going to be most appropriate for you. Thanks.